Welcome to the Cryptonaut Podcast. My name is Mark Storrs, and I'm here hanging out with Mr. Christopher Carnacelli.
I'm here with Mark and the other guy.
And Robert Thomas Morphy II.
The other guy that was spoken of in Chris's statement.
I was like, if I say Rob, then it's like I usurped your intro, so I didn't want to say your name.
I appreciate it.
That's the
We're
reason.
here, boys. We're doing
here.
it. We're
hey,
back.
Mark, thank you for being a special guest this week.
I do. Guys, I have been
thanks.
a listener for so long.
Yep.
It is finally nice to experience the Cryptonaut Podcast as a host.
You know,
I enjoy it.
obviously every single episode wouldn't be the same without you, but thank you for finally joining us.
Thanks for finally doing the intro. For once.
Yeah, just got to read it 14 times and fuck up really easy words. But that's
Hey, no,
okay.
I didn't simplify it for you at all.
Well, dude, you had to.
Because I love doing that for
I'd be
you.
reading it for 15 minutes.
Yeah, that was a long.
And poor
Do you
Chris.
remember the one I gave you forever ago where it was like Jean-Luc Godard in the prime of his career, shooting with Visconti's lens. We were in the Dragon Mountains, fucking filming a teenage rebellion at the height of an extraterrestrial invasion. And even I was like, the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, dude, it's me. Help your friend.
That's
okay?
why
There you go.
things have changed.
Help your friend.
Help
your friend. Simple words. Dude saw thing.
Donate to Mark's organization, Help Your Friend.
Thing in sky.
There you go, dude. I'm a simple man doing simple shit.
Excitement.
Excitement.
Newspapers.
Oh man.
And
Oh God. Patreon, boys. We are doing Patreon episodes weekly, and we offer it over at patreon.com/Cryptonaut Podcast. And we got some folks to thank, Robert.
Oh, fuck yes.
Let's do it.
Glenn.
What up, Glenn?
Forrest Mackley.
Hell yeah, Forrest.
Joe 138.
Oh, we are 138.
Gotta
What
be
up,
a
Joe?
Misfits ref.
Hell yeah.
John Steen.
What up, John?
Heck Boy.
Yeah, heck boy.
Miguel Botello.
Awesome. I love the name.
Ben M. Gibson.
Thank you, Ben.
Lee Alfano.
Hell yeah, Lee.
Sean Stratton.
What up, Sean?
Liger Rider.
I like that liger.
Not
rider.
Tygon.
No.
You will not tame and ride a Tygon.
No.
But a Liger, if you have a rapport, it's possible.
Yes.
Never. Two V's.
I like the V's. Excellent.
Hillbilly Deluxe.
Hell yeah, Hillbilly Deluxe.
Kira.
What up, Kira?
Kira, it's about damn time.
Hell
I've been
yeah.
waiting. Sludude. Or Sludude.
Slud-
Let's do that. Let me do that. Sludude.
You sure we're not getting fucked with this one?
Sludude.
Maybe.
I don't even know.
Kira could be Kiara, too.
Oh, it
yeah.
could be Kiara.
All right, let's do that.
All right, Kira.
We did both. You
I
get
mean, we
two.
did both. So, well, either way. Yes, Kiera.
Yeah.
It sounds
And
better.
Slew Dude.
And
I like
Slew Dude. But Slew Dude. Slew
Dude.
Dude. Come
There you
on.
go.
Slew Dude.
All right, so real quick correction on my part. I may have mixed up some painters last episode. I
Living
believe.
in shame.
It's only the episode just came out, so it's only a matter of time until I get messages about it. It's only been like a day or two, so I haven't gotten messages yet. But I may have said the painter I was trying to reference was actually Frank Frazetta and not Boris Vallejo.
Also phenomenal. But neither one of them do the same kind of work in the same genre.
Well, Frazetta did.
Oh my God! Yes, they're the two most famous fantasy painters ever.
Frazetta did the Death Dealer. I actually looked up maybe Boris Vallejo did a tribute to Frazetta with a Death Dealer.
It's possible.
No, it's not. It didn't work. It didn't work. I thought I could save myself. I couldn't. Mark is wrong.
It's
Fuck my painters up.
impossible not to love both of those artists.
Hold your messages. I've already apologized for it. There it is. All right, boys. This week when I saw this email, super excited because it has the word demon in it. And we're talking about the Dagg demon. And this is a part one.
Yes, it is.
Dark voice.
The darkest of voices.
Let's get started with near the end of the 19th century, a family living in an isolated Quebec farmhouse were going about their normal daily lives when, without warning, their world was turned upside down by a months-long series of bizarre events that culminated in a terrifying encounter with a sinister shape-shifting hellspawn that has gone down as one of the most haunting paranormal events in Canadian history.
Perhaps even North American history.
Really?
Let's broaden that spectrum right out.
All right, well, boys, we're going to Quebec.
We are.
Let's do it.
I know.
Our French folks up there. Let's fucking kick this out, dude.
Nestled on the north shore of the Ottawa River, just 7 miles north of Shawville in the Pontiac Regional County Municipality of southwestern Quebec, not a mouthful.
Wow.
Is the rural community of Clarendon. As remote a region as it may be, it was even more detached in the late 1800s when many of the forests that had been cleared for agricultural purposes were still intact. First surveyed in 1792, the land lay mostly untouched by Europeans until 1825, when retired British Army officer James Prendergast, that's a beautiful British name, was given a government commission to usher settlers in by granting free land. Nothing brings in settlers like free land.
Yeah,
that'll do it every time. The first wave began with just 15 colonists, but Prendergast, who hailed from a religiously divisive and tragically violent Ireland, had a catch. To avoid any similar conflicts in this new land, he insisted that only Protestants be allowed to settle the area, resulting in the Clarendon and Shawville regions becoming identified as the heartland of Anglo-Saxon Protestantism in western Quebec. And if there's one thing I know, on everyone's bucket list, I mean, the islands of Greece, Fiji, the Anglo-Saxon heartland of Protestantism in western Quebec.
Yeah.
It's like the top 3, I think, on everyone's list.
I would love to go check it out.
Hell yeah.
There it is.
Clarendon grew from the humble beginning of just 15 souls in 1825 to as many as 1,392 as of the 2021 census. But in the late 1890s, this sparsely populated area harbored one resident that was harder to tally. One that may well have been, for all the wrong reasons, attracted to this conglomeration of passionate Protestants. An entity whose origins, according to dozens of eyewitnesses, was decidedly diabolical. Not a normal guy. Just not Randy the farmer down the street. That's the implication here.
No. Jeff the Diabolical.
Jeff the Diabolical. In 1889, the hardscrabble workaday world of 35-year-old farmer George Henry Dagg would take a hard turn toward the surreal and leave his family reeling in the wake of what can only be described as a sinister supernatural assault. George lived on an isolated farmstead with his wife Susan, his 4-year-old daughter Mary, his 2-year-old son John, and a little European girl that they had adopted, 11-year-old Deena Burden McLean. And boy, for an adopted kid, Burden is a tough middle name.
Yikes.
Yeah, Jesus.
It would be this unfortunate child who would be singled out by this potentially malefic agent, becoming the epicenter of one of the strangest supernatural skirmishes in North American history. According to an article by Ian, published by mysteriousbritain.co.uk on April 9th, 2009, Deena, the daughter of Lachlan McLean and Jane Tate, was born in Glasgow, Scotland on December 18th, 1876. Quote, at the time of her birth, Jane was either the wife or widow of George Tate, who had left her about 14 years previously. Which makes me think that he was not the father, but the name. In a November 25th, 1889 article from the Ottawa Journal titled, quote, The Dagg Demon, The Doings and Sayings of the Pontiac Spook. The Pontiac Spook.
The doings and sayings.
That's so late 1800s
The
headlines.
doing. The stuff and things.
That article is so pretentious you can't even read it.
Oh, I did.
You really? Oh, did
no,
you
I
really?
did,
Oh,
and it took me back to a weird time. So, all right. So Pontiac Spook. It stated that Deena was sent from Scotland to Canada by one Mrs. Courier, and that she was adopted by George Dagg sometime in 1884 from an institution, likely an orphanage, known as the Belleville Home. Kind though this gesture may have been, there are some who speculate that her adoption may have had less to do with charity and more to do with free labor.
Oh, the old child labor gambit.
Yeah.
And this is something that carried on too long. I'm not going to digress too far. My dad was in the orphanage system until he was about 6 years old. He was born in the mid 1930s. And he still recalls being like adopted out to foster homes as a farmhand, where basically he slept in the barn. He did all sorts of shit.
No, this was,
and it wasn't until he was 6.
And
in the late 1930s that he finally got adopted by his forever family. That's a whole other kettle of bullshit, but at least it was more stable, slightly less Oliver Twisty.
Yeah.
But it was some tough, really rugged shit, and it took forever to pry that kind of stuff out of him.
Child labor laws.
So in the 1880s, when child labor really was, oh, wait, you only work 16 hours today? Billy, you're 7. Show up. All right. So it sucks.
It blows.
Is probably in a tough situation. We'll deal with this later. Be that as it may, young Deena suddenly found herself in the wilds of Quebec, and though the exact circumstances surrounding her emigration and adoption are somewhat sketchy, what we do know is that, by all accounts, For years, she and her new family led a quiet, peaceful life in their rustic 3-room, log-built home, as if Lincoln himself had hacked it out of the trees.
Went all the way to Quebec to build
right.
it. There you go.
The events in question began innocently enough on September 15th, 1889, when, in a situation reminiscent of George and Kathleen Lutz's experience on Amityville, Long Island, George Dagg presented his wife with 2 bills, a 5 and a 2, which she swiftly secured in one of their bedroom doors. The following day, a young farmhand working and living on the property, a boy known only as Dean, found the $5 bill on the kitchen floor and immediately presented it to George. Suspicious of his young charge, George went to check his bedroom drawer and found that the $2 bill was also missing. Dean swore he never touched them. The irate farmer stomped into his children's bedroom where Dean had a cot, tore back the quilt, and saw the $2 bill staring up at him. He dragged the boy in, but he vehemently denied having anything to do with the petty larceny. George put the fear of God into the youngster before sending him back to work. Seems legit. It's straight. You got to do you do it on the farm.
Okay,
I don't know why
okay.
this dude's sleeping with your daughters in a room, but hey, whatever. I don't know how old he is. I don't know the deal. But I do know that the kid found the 5. Now, and again, that's kind of a perfect crime. Oh, mister, I found your 5. You'll never look for the 2.
No.
And it's worth a lot of money, but
Yeah.
let's not crucify Dean yet because there's more to the story.
Okay.
As the days went by, Susan discovered that other household objects had been deposited in odd places or were missing altogether. Stranger still, odd configurations of sticks and rocks began appearing throughout the house. You know, because Blair Witch is there. Why not?
Man, really though.
Dude, stare in the corner. Stare at the corner.
George began to suspect that Dean, embarrassed at being caught stealing, was responsible for the malfeasance. When George accused him of the misdeeds, Dean again denied any culpability. Deena and Mary were also questioned and both swore they had nothing to do with these mostly mischievous interludes. Nevertheless, the inexplicable incidents not only continued with alarming frequency, but also took a disturbing twist. As the days progressed, Susan was going about her daily housekeeping chores when she was appalled to find that someone had, for reasons difficult to fathom, managed to dig into the fetid pit beneath their outhouse, sneak into her home, and smear great gobs of human feces all over her clean floors.
Oh, your house done got shitted on.
That's like
the worst. Like,
Yeah.
And who gets fucked
The
in
fuck?
that? The prankster or the prankee?
Everybody.
The one who's fucking like elbow deep in other people's shit and piss? Or the poor lady that has to clean it up?
I might know something about being elbow deep in other people's shit or piss.
So you know who got fucked there.
Yeah, no, it's generally always dude, if you're elbow deep in it, man, it's on you.
Yeah.
Nobody else is gonna.
Yeah, but I feel like if you're willing to do it, then it sucks for the person who is not expecting it more.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true too.
True.
Right?
I get.
You walk in. We all
Like
have.
Jesus Christ.
We all could walk in today and see a bunch of human shit spread on our kitchen floors, and then we would all know the hell of it.
Yeah.
And I don't think at that point we're worried about the poor kid that had to dig it out. If
No,
it
right.
was a kid.
Yeah.
If it was a kid.
Or some sort of dag demon. A
Some
dag.
dag demon.
A fucking dag.
What's up with that dag demon over there?
no.
Why are you digging in my shit pit? And also,
I live with the dags.
you know who'd love that? The fucking the Spring Heel Jack. Remember the fetid soup?
Oh, he killed the
shit, that's
15-year-old
right.
prostitute or whatever,
In the fetid
right?
soup.
In the fetid lake
The
of
shit
shit.
poopy pond.
Yeah.
Oh, shapoopy. Shapoopy pond.
Shapoopy pond.
It's the
That's
Shapoopy.
like that song from Music Man.
It's the Shapoopy Lagoon. There you go.
Shapoopy Lagoon.
Shapoopy
If this were
Lagoon.
Patreon, 100% that would be the title. Shapoopy Lagoon.
Nice.
All right, so there's shit all over Susan Dagg's floor. She is not pleased
No, she's pissed.
at all.
All right.
Okay. She raced to tell George what happened. This would prove to be the last straw. Enraged, George again confronted his farmhand, but despite Dean's continued denials, the boy was not only summarily fired from his position, but arrested, taken before the Shawville magistrate, and locked up in the local jail.
For
So
smearing
I don't know
shit.
if this kid's 8 or 14, but either way,
For smearing shit.
and
Magistrate.
apparently stealing the 2,
I don't know, man.
it seems harsh.
A little bit, yeah. Protestants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Believing this would put an end to his family's series of unusual and now distasteful inconveniences, George would be in for a harsh surprise as he and his clan were about to be besieged by dark forces beyond their imaginations. Not long after Deena had been arrested, the family became plagued by mysterious pounding sounds that echoed through their home in the dead of night. No matter how many times George and Susan rushed outside to find the culprit, they never saw any trace of the trespassers or the wild beasts that might have caused the curious cacophony. Yet, the moment they returned to their beds, the diabolical din would begin anew. As frightening and fatiguing as these nocturnal ambushes were, there were even more malevolent events waiting on the horizon. The weirdness began in earnest when George, Susan, and their children gathered for dinner and a strange sound began emanating from one of the bedrooms. The group strained to listen, their anxiety only deepening when they realized that it was a rocking chair creaking from an empty room, moving back and forth as if occupied by some invisible imp. The family rushed into the room to find the empty chair gently swaying, its occupant nowhere in sight. The walls between the rooms were just thin panels and the house contained no closets. There was nowhere for an intruder to hide and no sign that anyone had made an escape. The family almost certainly indulged in a second round of grace before returning to their meal. And I know it takes me right back to the old Salem's Lot, even though it was Jeffrey Lewis, as we talked about, rocking. But, the empty rocking chair, Evil Dead-ish, whatever. It's the wrong.
Yeah, dude.
It's fundamentally the wrong.
The invisible imp, dude.
The invisible imp.
It's like it's a little imp. And just like, he's rocking.
Oh my God. See, no, because that's just a Hanna-Barbera voice.
Yeah.
No, now that's just somebody that's going to accompany a gang of teens and solve a mystery. That's not a fucking terrifying entity.
It's the crazy invisible imp smearing shit everywhere.
Crazy.
It's nuts, dude.
The shimp. The shit imp. Shimping around.
Oh, I want to be a shimp so bad.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You're really this close.
I am.
Yeah, you're really halfway there.
So close to being a shimp.
A couple incantations and you're fucking
reach
there,
for your
man.
dreams,
That
buddy.
could be me, man. I hope I get tiny. I can fit in pipes easier. Fuck yeah.
It would be then that this sinister, sleep-stealing being began to make its presence known with even more authority, revealing to the family its destructive side. Chairs began hurtling across the floor even when there was no one near them. Beds were torn apart and other pieces of furniture were found defaced with deep gouges ripped through them. Milk or butter would suddenly vanish. Don't take my dairy. Don't do that.
No.
And even when the family was all together, they would hear crashing sounds coming from the kitchen and run in only to find their plates, water jugs, and other crockery obliterated, their contents spilled across the floor. Pretty soon, objects weren't merely found in pieces, but began flying off walls and shelves as if directly targeting individuals. When Susan was alone in the house, an unseen entity flung a pitcher of cold water into her face, and worse by far, it was at this point that 5-year-old Mary opened the front door only to be struck in the chest by a large rock, which thankfully did no permanent damage.
I'm not laughing at her getting hit by a rock.
But if you see it as an image that you're not identifying with, just open the door. Hey, padoosh! It is objectively funny.
I feel
but
awful
terrifying.
that the child got hit by a rock, but like how you just open the door and a rock flies at you.
That's
like,
exactly what I say. You're just about to go outside, frolic,
Dude,
do whatever
I
the
feel
fuck you
like
do.
Yeah.
Whether I was alone or not, if I was in my apartment and little things happen, that's always this escalates somehow, right?
Sure.
Just some shit moves that wasn't there before.
Some scritchy, like in The Exorcist, you think it's rats in the attic.
Right.
Yeah, right. You hear some noises, but eventually, if I'm at the point I'm sitting there and I just there for a half an hour and I'm just watching furniture
shit go
fly.
everywhere, yeah.
That's all. I would be. That's it. Like,
That's it.
I'm not there anymore.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you got
Tell
to
me
seen
take my
the
10
poltergeist?
bases.
Yeah.
Get the fuck
Exactly.
out.
10 paces.
You
So
can't
I'm
wait.
gonna have
You
to
can't wait for this
dodge
shit
flying furniture to get
to
my bases,
escalate
but-
to full-on changeling, where you're being chased by a little kid's rickety wheelchair.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't
No.
let that happen.
I guess it wouldn't even take a shitload. If I just saw like one thing
Yeah.
float or fly across, I'd be like, well, I guess it's real.
Yeah.
I guess I'm getting
Or
a
if it's
new
flying
apartment.
at you, like if your shit's falling off your wall, but not falling off your wall, hurtling off your wall at you,
Yeah, that's even worse.
and
right.
you hear everything smash in your kitchen, and you know it was all in shelves, and the shelves haven't been broken, but now all your shit's broken on the ground. That's like,
Yeah,
Fuck.
man, it's not good, dude.
right.
Like,
fucking dags.
get the fuck out, man. Got time to get a new homestead.
Yeah.
It's fuck it.
Spectre insurance.
There you go.
After this initial assault, whatever it was that had decided it didn't like the Daggs began cranking up the devilry to 10.
Oh, man.
Rocks began to batter the sides of the house, smashing out the windows. Infuriated, George would vigilantly lay in wait for the assailant and rush outside the moment a window shattered, but he could never find hide nor hair of the culprits. It was maddening. But in all fairness, despite his growing frustration, George realized that the incarcerated Dean could not possibly be responsible for the spiteful attacks, and he encouraged the local authorities to release the boy, who, not surprisingly, chose not to return to Dagg's employ.
Yeah,
but at least he took the time not to let him languish in 1800s fucking jail, whatever that was like.
Yeah, I mean, it's a solid move on his part.
Not saying the man's a saint.
No, but at least he was like, I'm fucking wrong.
True.
Clearly not him.
So yeah, points where points are due. In an article by Hammerson Peters, that's a name to say, savor, titled Poltergeists in Canada, Part 3, published on the Mysteries of Canada website on September 28th, 2018, the author reports a similar window-breaking spree that occurred on the farm involving George's parents. Quote, following Dean's release, George Dagg asked his parents, who lived on their own farm 2 miles away, to stay with his family for a few days while he went out to thresh his wheat from the harvest. The elderly couple agreed. No sooner had they settled in, however, than a rock came sailing through the window from outside, shattering the glass. John Dagg, George's father, stole outside the farmhouse and hid behind a stump, determined to catch the culprit red-handed. As he watched and waited for any sign of movement, another window pane exploded. Try as he might, John Dagg could find no sign of the vandal. The old farmer decided to change his position. He crept over to the barn, removed a wallboard from inside, and peered out at the farmhouse through the gap. As he watched, more windows in the house began to explode, seemingly on their own. "Father," called Susan Dagg, "you may as well come in. The glass is still breaking." End quote.
That's weird. You're looking
What's
at
that
it
even
and it
fuck?
explodes.
It's just like, psh, and you're not even seeing rocks at this point.
Yeah.
Just, and you're where the rocks are being hucked from in that same general direction.
Yeah.
And unless, you got, I don't know, fucking, Randy Johnson circa fucking 1880s fucking hucking from the orchard across the way.
Right. Crab apples.
Fucking just fighting people on the mound left and right.
Do you remember when he killed a bird? When he hucked a fucking pitch in and it just hit a bird
and
and it just
obliterated it?
exploded in feathers? It was mayhem.
Oh, yeah, that's a classic. They show that a lot, actually.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the only time it's happened.
Still love watching people charge the mound at him because you're like, dude,
oh, you idiot.
You stop.
I know.
Like him and Nolan Ryan. Like, dude, they're going to crush you.
Don't
Stop.
be a fool. Even more disconcertingly, now I can read, even more disconcertingly, during many of these malicious melees, George's harmonica would move about and begin to play a haunting, discordant tune on its own.
Get the fuck out, man.
Because there's nothing better than an evil spirit willing to provide its own nerve-shredding soundtrack, dude.
I mean, what hasn't happened?
Is it playing like fucking George Thorogood or something?
Yeah, I know.
Like, at this point, I feel like it's just it's gremlins.
Yeah,
it's
honestly,
just over the top.
But you can't see them. It's just everything that can happen is happening.
It's dumb.
The Gremlins theme kicks in. Yeah. I can't remember how it goes, but yeah.
Oh my god! God. Dun, 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 come on.
I love that thing.
Oh, me too. The first one, solid, pure 80s gold. Everything else can go fuck off. All right. It would be then, because things clearly weren't fucked quite enough, that the fires started.
Yes.
Oh, that's the thing that's missing. Fire.
Despite
Jesus.
the seemingly endless array of duties already facing these simple farmers, Susan and George were forced to remain eternally vigilant of the flames that would spontaneously erupt around and throughout the house. These sudden self-generated fires would repeatedly occur, at one time 8 in a single day, and have no apparent genesis. But thankfully, the flames claimed nothing more valuable than a pair of curtains.
Dude,
so nobody got hurt.
But you can't have one of those old, rickety, dusty houses with tiny, thin shit walls and fire. It's a matchbox.
Oh my god!
You're just getting ready to fucking.
I mean, it's already
thing.
an old, dilapidated timber fucking building when you're moving in.
It's all dried out and
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Just waiting for like a good fart and an old match, and boom, everything's fucking gone. And now you have to spend all this time. I mean, it's not like kids were raised back then anyway.
Right.
You turned 5 and you were given chores, and it was hoped
you're part of the
workforce.
Dinner. Yeah, you're just like, here you go.
Come back, eat your piece, and if you don't, well, more food for us. I mean, I'm not saying parents didn't love their kids. I'm just saying life was considered not less precious, but a lot easier to extinguish back then.
For sure.
But then to constantly have to be going around like, holy shit, is this on fire? Is this on fire? What the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
Shit's flying off the walls at you. The harmonica's fucking jamming out.
Some
more
I don't even know
fucking
what
score.
that means. Just like I picture like the little, like you see in like a Chinese ghost story or something. Little just balls of fire floating.
Yeah.
Like that's just whoosh, there
but
it goes.
No, I think it's just on the ground, like just.
No, but
like,
my mind says it's
right. Of course,
it's that version
to make it better.
Yeah, because they're also demons, so they're just floating around.
Exactly,
being fucksuckers,
will-o'-the-wisps, if you will.
Oh yeah, misguiding your path.
Oh, there it is.
Getting
to
lost.
Hell. Your path to hell.
Well, you might not be far off.
All right. Hey everybody, what's happening? Mark here. We just wanted to take a moment to tell you about our good buddy, the magical wizard of whimsy, Mr. Todd Purse. Check him out over at createmagicstudios.com. He's done a bunch of cool t-shirt designs for us in the past. He's an awesome illustrator and artist. And recently, Todd launched the Create Magic podcast. This is a daily audio microdose of weird art and the inspiration behind the illustrations that Todd posts each morning. Creativity and the paranormal meet for 5 minutes a day to kickstart the whimsy and weirdness in your world. That is available on Spotify, so be sure to go and follow that. Also, too, Todd has a really cool comic book series, The Personal Folklore. Currently, issues 1 through 4 are available at createmagicstudios.com. He also got some dope t-shirts and posters and all kinds of other cool merch happening over there. You can support Todd on Patreon at patreon.com/createmagicstudios, where he has really cool daily art offerings to check out. All the links for this will be in the description of this podcast. And again, he's a good friend of the show. We are super stoked to support him. Check it out. Todd Purse, our dude, magical wizard of whimsy. And now back to the show.
The already exhausted Daggs must have been at their wits' end, but the horror their family would face had scarcely, nice Rob. I was building the drama, and here it goes. Had scarcely begun to show itself. Now feel it as if I did it right.
Oh, here we go.
Without warning, unseen hands began to push them down and yank their hair.
No.
At one point, Deena's long, beautiful braid appeared to have been partially cut off by some kind of dull blade. The hacker? I don't know.
Yeah, really?
Some kind of dull blade.
Weird.
It seemed that the family in general, and Deena in particular, had become the target of an especially vicious poltergeist. But just when it seemed as if their situation could get no worse, the Dagg's insidious interloper began to speak.
Uh-oh, shit.
At first, all they could make out were the raspy, gravelly tones of what seemed to be an angry old man. Then one day, out of the blue, it barked at one of the children, asking, "Would you like to go to hell with me?"
Harvey Firestein?
Yeah, I know. I'm doing the best I can.
Would you like to go to
It's
hell?
my gruff old. Everyone do a gruff old man. Hey, would you care to go to hell?
Hell, maybe kid.
I'm telling you,
It's totally-
it gets chilly here in the winter. I'm just telling you, I got a summer home there. We can be great.
Definitely.
Would you care to go to hell with me?
Definitely Harvey Firestein. For sure.
Who I love, by the way.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
He's fucking phenomenal.
All right, well, I mean, I guess, all right. Well, at least they're asking, would you like to go to hell with me?
Yeah. No,
There
it
you
could be
go.
like that. I'm imagining
Hey.
it's much worse, but
Okay,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
it sounds like Danzig.
Would you like
Like
to
you're
go
going
to hell with me? Till y'all bleed out. There you go.
oh my God, that was delightful.
You like that?
Though the older masculine voice would remain the primary, the sound of the voice would often oscillate between a giggling, mocking, almost Evil Dead-like imp
Oh, man.
or a guttural growl. So that like teasy little, like especially Evil Dead 1 or even Part 2 where the fiance at the beginning.
This feels like it is an Evil Dead. It feels Raimi-esque.
Oh, definitely.
It does,
Cabin in the
for
woods,
sure,
just
yeah.
fire, laundry's doing itself. Fucking
Who churned the butter? The devil.
poop monster. Like I can
Poop
see,
Monster.
right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
all of this.
No, Raimi would do a poop monster, totally. All right, so these sounds seemed inhuman to say the least. Likely terrified not just for their lives, but for their very souls, George, Susan, Deena, Mary, and the hopefully oblivious toddler John were constantly pursued by the terrible, multifaceted voice. In his March 30th, 2022 article, Terrifying Case of the Dagg Demon, Brent Swancer wrote, quote, "The voice would follow them around, taunting them and mocking their attempts to find an explanation for the phenomena, laughing at them when they made mistakes, breaking their concentration at the most inopportune times, and generally making a nuisance of itself." According to noted author, Pontiac Archives historian, and Dagg Demon expert, yeah, that's a fact.
Whoa, all right.
Venetia Crawford, quote, "There are loads of ghosts around, but this is the only one that talked. And a lot of people heard it talk." This is the hallmark of the dog demon. He doesn't just talk. He is a conversationalist of the first order.
Oh, that's even worse.
Wait,
when
maybe
he doesn't shut up. Oh man.
Man, this sounds like Jeff.
I was getting Jeff vibes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I might agree. We'll see.
Okay,
We'll see.
all right.
I don't know. I agree.
I
completely agree.
You didn't even try to hide that. That was a twist. You're just like,
The only thing all of these disparate events had in common is that they would only occur when their daughter, Deena, was present.
Oh.
If she was sent out on errands, everything on the farm seemed to revert back to normal. Understandably fearing that their eldest may be responsible for the mayhem, George and Susan made it a point to surreptitiously keep tabs on Deena, but after days of scrutiny, they found that she was doing nothing out of the ordinary. This, combined with the fact that they deemed Deena incapable of making the various animalistic sounds and often gruff voice associated with the profane phantom, led them to believe that they were the victims not of the machinations of a young and mischievous girl, but that of a devious supernatural devil. So
the only
she's
two
around.
The young mischievous girl or the devil.
Yeah, right. No, I mean, I imagine there's some leeway in between, some area.
I don't know, man. It sounds like kind of like the whole thing happened with Jeff, though, where like they thought it was one of our theories is that it was coming from the daughter.
Yes,
that she was playing hell.
Dude, this has got so many parallels with Jeff.
Okay, all right, cool.
100%.
Cool.
I mean, anyone, Bell Witch as well.
Yeah.
And we're gonna explore all of that.
All right, cool.
Maybe not in this part thoroughly, but certainly by the time we're wrapping it up.
Okay.
All right. As the October chill swept in, bringing with it long nights and barren limbs, the Dagg family's hellish ordeal continued. As to be expected, rumors eventually began spreading through their tiny agrarian community about the strange and frightening goings-on on their property. Nosy neighbors would stop by, and to their host's shame, and perhaps also relief, the dark voice would target their guests with its ethereal ire. The Dagg demon, as it came to be known, would berate anyone who dared ask it a question with threats and vulgar language. Other times it would reveal private facts about the visitor's life that only he or she could have possibly known. That could get dangerous.
That's real bad. That time you were jerking off in the outhouse.
Oh, boy.
You're right.
Yeah, see?
What were you doing in the bathroom for that long, Bill?
Why were your balls empty?
What are those squishy weird noises?
Oh, squishy weird noises in the outhouse.
Squishy weird noises.
Dude, putting your foot
Ectoplasm.
putting your foot in the poop, dude, while you're cranking
poop
one out. Waffle style.
Oh, the poop jerk?
The poop jerk. Yeah,
Oh, God,
dude.
no. Stop.
You're giving yourself a blumpkin. Whoa.
God damn it.
Yeah.
You and your
Still
words.
other times, I'm keeping this classy.
All right,
Still
fine.
other times, it would reply in cryptic, nonsensical riddles, not entirely unlike an old buddy of ours named Jeff, a.k.a. the Dalby Spook, who on the Isle of Man in the 1930s claimed to have split the atom and to hail from the 8th dimension.
Dude, when is a gift not a gift?
Well, it's a trap.
Oh, God damn it.
There you go.
Episode 88,
Which is also
Jeff.
a gift.
God damn it.
And a
All right,
trap.
dude.
Oh shit! I'm surprised I didn't get messages about that, but we'll see.
When is a Jeff not a trap?
Dude, when is a Jeff not a Jeff? Oh, when it's fucking the splitting the eighth dimension or splitting the atom in the eighth dimension. Oh, dude. There you
I
go.
love Jeff.
He's my favorite.
Obviously, he's our mascot now, unofficially or
He's
officially.
in the
He's in the
art.
van with us,
He's
yeah.
in the van.
He's
with
in the
us,
van
yeah.
with us, and I fucking just love that
He's
thing.
the best.
He is the best. And you know what? If he showed here, I would love to see this conversation take place.
Jeff versus
Dagg
the
Demon
Dagg
and the
Demon.
fucking Dagg Demon. Someone that wants to make a fucking video game, they should just take these paranormal things who are matched up by skill sets, be it physical or in this case decidedly intellectual.
There you go.
And we're going to find out. You people don't get where the Dagg Demon's at yet, but
all right.
Oh boy, okay.
At one point, it verbally assaulted a neighboring farmer named Arthur Smart, and when asked who it was, the infernal voice would offer up a new answer almost every time, once claiming to be a man who had died in the house nearly 2 decades before, later asserting that it was an evil, inhuman force that had been conjured through the dark arts, then finally settling on the old chestnut that it was nothing less than the devil himself.
Oh, it's coming.
Okay, I mean, that's usually always an option.
Yeah, braggadocious.
Yeah.
Devil or not, the voice was beginning to manifest itself, to Deena at least, in more than just sounds. The first incident began while Deena and George's mother Mary were cleaning the bedroom. According to Hammerson Peters' report, I love saying that full name, Deena suddenly shrieked, quote, "Oh, grandmother, see that big black thing pulling off the bedclothes?" The old lady looked where Deena was pointing and could see no such black thing. What she did see were the bed sheets floating in midair, as if held up by invisible hands. "Where is it, Deena?" the grandmother asked. "Why don't you see him?" cried Deena in a panic. "He's jumping over the bedstead." Bedstead just being bed frame. Just an old-timey way of saying that.
Cool.
Not sure what else to do, Mary did the only thing a dedicated grandmother who can't see the monster tormenting her beloved grandchild could. She ran out, grabbed her son's bullwhip, handed it to her granddaughter, and told her to whip it. Whip it good.
Oh, boy.
Just get the bull. Hit it. Hit the fucker.
When I first read this, I'm like, oh my God, that was your go-to?
I mean, think about it. You're keeping your distance from it.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
you
that makes
can,
sense,
if you
I
can
guess.
snap a bullwhip really fucking hard, that is it's precise.
I mean, you live in a world with demons.
But
Yeah.
I mean,
You believe
can
they
she?
exist.
Yeah.
And she sees them.
Hopefully she can. I'm sure. I mean, maybe the kids are trained with bullwhips. Ooh.
I mean, it's the son's, not hers.
I don't think she is, but let's continue.
That's right.
Or a rake. Get a rake. Poke it with a rake.
In reality, Mary's words were, "Strike him, child. Take courage and strike him hard."
That's okay.
Deena did as she was told, uncoiled the leather and let fly. The snapping sounds of the furious fracas aroused the curiosity of Arthur Smart, aforementioned, who had happened by the Dagg farmstead in the company of an unnamed boy. Upon hearing that the girl was locked in battle with the same invisible entity that had been tormenting her and her family and had insulted him, the farmer shouted, "Lay it on him, Deena."
What the fuck? Is this like the end of Nightmare on Elm Street?
It really, dude, it is. It's great.
At this point, the 11-year-old reared back and whipped again, but this time, instead of the crack of the lash ripping through the empty air, the eyewitnesses were shaken to hear an anguished, pig-like squeal echo in the room before the sheet fluttered back onto the bed.
Fucking hit the little bastard.
He hit it. She hit it.
Good.
To everyone but Deena, it seemed as if the tip of the whip had simply stopped in midair before collapsing, followed by the inhuman shriek. But Deena swore that she connected with the black being and that it had vanished on contact. Not long after, a sheet of paper appeared pinned to the bedroom wall with a scrawled note that read, "You gave me 15 cuts."
Oh, shit.
Fuck is
So
happening?
she must have connected a few times.
Couple of times. 15,
Yeah, because 15's like...
It's a lot. She would, dude. If it's 15, she was whipping the fuck out of this thing.
Yeah.
She was just
No,
cranking.
this is some Passion of the Dagg Demon
dude,
shit.
She was just cranking.
This is like Roman
she was
torture.
Cranking on that thing, dude. All right.
Things began to ramp up following Deena's courageous counterattack. Terrifying as the bedroom incident had been for their big sister, it wouldn't be long before Mary and John were also sucked into this vortex of unholy terror as they began to see the terrible thing, or things, that infested their small home. One day, while playing in the yard, the trio were startled to see a decidedly pagan image that Deena and Mary described as, quote, "a tall man with a cow's head, cloven feet, and horns," end
Whoa.
quote.
Okay.
Yeah, not a comfort.
Cowman shows
Coming.
up.
Dude.
The hooved horror vanished forthwith, but this profane phantom was far from gone as it followed the children inside their house where it would randomly appear to them, much to their chagrin.
Shut.
Soon after, the kids claimed that a huge, savage black dog with ominously glowing blood-red eyes was stalking them from the shadows wherever they went. Always, it seemed, on the verge of pouncing on its young prey. George and Susan would try to console their terrified children, and even though they could never see these frightening fiends for themselves, they believed the youngsters and became more and more convinced that these things were either minions of the devil or manifestations of the Dark Lord himself. Only options when you're a super Christian. Let's be honest. When you're the West Quebec fucking heartland of Protestantism, Anglo-Saxon style, what choice do you have?
There is no middle ground.
Not knowing where else to turn, George finally called upon a local clergyman named Reverend Horner and implored him to come and try to bless his home and, God willing, banish the malignant forces that have been tormenting them for so many weeks. It's not known what the good Reverend's opinion regarding the existence of the now infamous Dagg demon may have been going in. But before his visit was through, this man of the cloth would have no doubt of its reality. When Reverend Horner arrived at the Dagg house, he greeted the family and wasted no time in opening his Bible and loudly reciting scripture in an attempt to remove the unclean spirit. Sometimes this is known as exorcism, but it is not, because you can't exorcise an object. That's only for people.
Okay.
Maybe that's a Catholic limitation. I'm not an expert on Protestantism.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know.
But anyway, that's what's going on. As his voice grew more impassioned, the clergyman was stunned to see that his Bible had literally disappeared from his hands.
Oh, the old disappearing Bible trick.
Boop. There it is. Oh, blamed.
Blamed.
Shaken, he and Daggs.
It says that, yeah.
I know. He and the Daggs. Oh, my God. That's all. I want that to be my new nickname. Searched their modest home until the sacred text was discovered. Anyone care to guess? You can read it, but just guess.
The shitter?
Oh, that would be ironic.
All right.
The oven.
Oh,
where it was
oven.
destined to be burned by diabolical forces and a pilot light.
Cooked with a goose.
Actually, it's 1880, so probably wood.
Yeah.
Either way, the fucking Bible, I was about to say miraculously, but I guess it's the opposite, nefariously appeared in the oven. How it managed to get there, no one knew. Clearly unnerved, Reverend Horner fell to his knees and feverishly prayed for God to remove the demon's quote-unquote heavy hand from the home.
Don't collapse just yet, man.
I know.
This isn't the first round.
Yeah, just the Bible got taken. Exactly. You're going like for full-on.
You got
this has
climax.
Got multiple power bars.
Yeah,
so
but you
cannot use your special move this quick.
Exactly, because you know you can't make it.
You got to face it.
You're
dude.
gonna run out of life bar like at least when that thing's barely in the yellow.
Don't start calling JC just yet, man. You still got your book of tricks here.
Yeah, no, you got other saints to implore.
No, if he makes your tools disappear and puts them in the fucking oven, then I don't know.
I mean, that could be
Bible oven, cross oven,
holy water.
No, there it goes.
Hey, how'd the whole church get in this fucking oven?
The whole town's just in the oven.
Why is the whole church in the shitter? What the fuck happened?
Oh, it's like that little Kryptonian city in the fucking glass dome.
Candor. Yeah.
Candor, Brainiac.
Oh, Candor.
Oh, Clarendon.
Clarendon.
Oh, Shawville. What are you doing here?
Oh, no.
It's the oven.
Heavy hand of the demon.
Heavy hand. Demon.
No.
Okay. Perhaps the minister wasn't in as good a standing with the Lord as he might have hoped, because the demonic voice made a mockery of Horner's efforts to disengage it from its chosen abode, its hellish cackle echoing into the rafters. Horner remained on his knees for the better part of half an hour, but eventually even he had to realize that his appeals to heaven seemed to be falling upon deaf ears. That's not what you want. Even as a kid watching horror films, I was already a lapsed Catholic when I was very young. And even as an altar boy, I saw the hypocrisy of the priest and a lot of things that led me to not necessarily be super kosher with the rituals. But I still rooted for the cross to work in a horror film. It failed in Amityville.
Sure, yeah.
I mean,
Rod Steiger got church dirt in his eyes and attacked by flies.
The Exorcist.
It worked-ish, except you killed the head priest, you possessed the other one, and he had to kill himself, but it was an act of martyrdom, so maybe he gets to go to heaven for it. I don't know. That was that wishy-washy 70s kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
And the little girl eventually had to be an exorcist too, so she lost too.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, poor
but then
Linda
there's
Blair.
3. So,
which was a gem, but didn't involve Linda Blair. But
no,
you're right.
Did not.
It was a gem. So, yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Fuck.
Well.
But I still rooted for evil to lose when I was a kid because evil winning scared me more.
Yeah. Understandable.
Now I give no fucks. But back then, shit.
No,
All right.
I rooted
Team Evil.
So, well, I'm not on Team Evil.
Hashtag Team Evil.
I don't like generic evil like twist endings.
No,
like,
I know what you mean,
everything works out, and but the evil won. That's just do it clever, be cool.
No, sure, I don't like that either.
Hereditary.
Dude, drag me to hell.
So there's that. There's Hellraiser.
Oh,
Hellraiser's good.
Hellraiser's good.
Yeah.
Drag Me to Hell was not good.
No, but it had a handful of moments. You're right. It's not. But yeah. I mean, maybe I was so horny for some Raimi at that point in my life.
Yeah. I still root for. I still do,
Yeah.
even though I don't like a lot of his later stuff. But
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So right now we're dealing with Reverend Horner. His appeals falling on deaf ears. Things are shitting the bed. So if I was a kid listening to this podcast, I'd be like, assholes, get back to the story, A. And B, I would be like, I really need fucking Jesus to win this time.
If you're a kid, you shouldn't be listening to this podcast.
Yeah, but that doesn't stop
Just
all
saying,
kids from
kids,
listening.
don't listen to it.
Well, you're here, so
don't tell parents what to do.
It's true. You're right. It's my fault. Sorry.
It's always your fault.
Tell all the kids to listen to this.
wow. No, you can't do that either. You can't just switch. Can we walk a middle ground?
No, if you got a Spotify account, fuck it, listen to it.
If you have cool
leave
parents,
us some reviews.
Listen. If you're old enough to have a Spotify account, yes, and leave good reviews. The Reverend left defeated.
Oh, he gave up.
But yeah.
Okay, all right.
No,
well,
I mean, it's true.
fine,
Yeah, no, I
all
mean,
right.
what are you going to do at this point? I mean, you're praying, you're on your knees.
All your shit's in the oven.
If I'm on my knees for like 7 minutes,
I'm out.
Yeah, his vestments, fucking everything, his codpiece. Precept codpiece, right?
No,
They're
sure
all in the
no.
oven.
Sure they did.
No.
Why not?
I don't know what ministers do.
Wineskin
in the 1800s.
bladders.
Oh my God, wineskin bladders. Sheep love. Okay.
Armor.
He gave up. He quit. Rev Horn. Maybe he didn't quit. Maybe he thought, I'm going to go home, regroup, grab more holy water, and do it. But he never came back.
He quit.
All right. The Reverend left defeated, but George Dagg would not give up so easily. If God refused to protect his family, then he would try to enlist help from the other side. To that end, he saddled up and made the over 100-mile journey southeast into Ontario to enlist the aid of a renowned folk healer said to have been granted the gift of second sight, known far and wide as the Witch of Plum Hollow.
Oh, he went right to the witch?
What are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you have
Well,
to.
it's funny that's the
Horner
other
abandoned you.
side.
Well,
Yeah,
you know,
really,
like-
that's the other side.
Now,
like,
now we know in reality,
It's not just a different
an
side.
herbalist, a healer, someone who has psychic abilities is not the antithesis of like the paragon of goodness that is like fucking
Right, of Abrahamic
a middle-aged
things.
man who's
Yeah.
fucking exactly steeped in the Abrahamic side of Christianity.
Yeah, sure.
In fact, if anything, we know likely that dude's going to be a villain, and the local faith healer is going to be the sweet, midwife type person that's going to do it. But I mean that in the context of the way George Dagg would have perceived it at the time. Being
No, I
raised in a
completely understand
deeply
what this- yeah.
Christian, Protestant, granted,
Yeah.
but Christian community. And so going to the services of a witch is not something that you do lightly.
No, right. I understand.
Because you
completely.
were, at least in his mind, and I'm extrapolating based on the time and the environment he was in and the way religion looked at things at the time, he is putting himself, his spirit, in mortal danger by saying, I got to watch out for my fam. I'm going to do this.
Yeah. No, everything is the other side if it's not
Yeah.
Christianity or whatever.
Yeah, everything pagan
So it
or
doesn't matter.
heathen is considered devilry, which is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, but that's what it was. George arrived at the tiny cottage, which seemed to have been culled from the pages of a Grimm's fairy tale, and he was greeted by a wizened old crone. Literally, I've seen pictures of her. This is legit. It's not me fucking just
Man.
being hyperbolic. That he knew from a glance to be the one he sought. She escorted him inside, and after what was presumably a fair exchange of cash for services, she performed a seance during which the wise, life-withered old lady divined that his family had been put under a terrible curse and that these diabolical manifestations were the result of incantations of the darkest magic. And that the brunt of these attacks were aimed directly at his adopted daughter, Deena Burden McLean. What's more, she knew who was responsible. But that, dear friends, is a story for next week.
Oh, shit. The Dagg Demon Part 1, The Dark Voice. The Shimp, the Shit Imp, is making its way known, throwing all the priestly arsenal into the oven. And, yeah. All right. Well, hey, man, you know what's kind of dope about this? Oh, he has the help of the witch.
He does.
He's like, bring me the witch. There you go. He's not there to harass her. He's going to pay her the money.
Oh, yeah.
And she's going to hopefully fight the fucking Dagg demon.
I know it's just me. Anytime you visit a witch in historical accounts like this, in lore, it is always Perseus with the 3 blind hags.
Yeah.
It is a place that's full of like, it's like a fucking carnal house. It's fucking or charnel house, however you pronounce it. It's just full of fucking dead things and rot and mold.
Yes,
and a bubbling cauldron full of filth and fingers. And you're taking your life in your hands by going in there. But by doing so, you might come out with some information that might help you to save people you love.
Yeah, yeah. It's always the gamble. It's like, you got to do something, and that's what they do.
And that's, to me, I'm buying the cliches. I'm the problem. I'm the oppressor when I feel this way. But but it's not me thinking that witchcraft or whatever is intrinsically evil. It is a cinematic stamp.
No, 100%.
That was put on me at a young age.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, there has to be a conflict there. It can't just be like, hey, you want to help me? Yeah. Here's the answer.
Sure.
Oh, thanks. Bye.
Yeah,
like,
here's $7, here's your chicken foot. Go.
Right. Want some pizza? Yeah.
Dude,
this won't be invented for decades.
Dude, you got to go to the witch to summon the pumpkin head, and then there you go. She avenged your dead son.
And that always works out perfectly. Because that's the other thing too. When you want to avenge somebody, and that's not what George Dagg is doing. He wants to protect people. So maybe it's a different breed of cat. When you want to avenge somebody, you always have to give up an essential part of you. This implies that in the context of these movies, I won't go too far because it's taking us away from the subject, but that there is something to an immortal soul. And that the child or loved one or whoever you want to avenge has an immortal soul.
Right.
And that somehow you might be compromising it, but you are certainly compromising your own and the ability to reunite eventually with the person you love for the act of bloodletting. It's almost always, to me, a morality warning. Like, sure, you're not watching it for that. You're watching it for a monster to kill assholes that murdered somebody who was innocent. Yeah. But the person that does the deal always gets more fucked.
Well, of course. Yes. You have to. Yeah, you have to. Well, I mean, here we go. So we obviously talked about a little bit of the Jeff parallel here.
Oh, so clearly.
But seeing as that I got my eyes on Deena, though, I don't know, man. I don't know.
And you should.
Yeah, I'm still a little skeptical about it.
Well, you have to have your eyes on Deena.
A little bit.
And your instincts are not wrong.
She could be the Dagg Demon.
We are going to get much deeper into that in part 2.
Okay.
In part 2, there are going to be, spoiler, there are blatant accusations.
Oh, no, by the local constables?
Jeez.
No. Okay. Local intelligentsia, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Ooh, okay.
And things go dark.
All right.
And there's also direct confrontations. There's the arrival of an artist and an early psychical researcher.
Is this more
the
churchy?
First Ghostbuster.
I feel like there's going to be more church involvement.
There's going to be more church involvement.
All right.
I mean, these things never don't go there.
And it's kind of awesome, to be honest.
Right.
So there's more church involvement. There's paranormal investigators. There are definitely people that believe that she is the victim, and there are people that believe she is the perpetrator. Though,
of course.
I have to admit that I think I am a little bit, I don't want to get too far ahead because that's next week's episode. I definitely am leaning towards the thought that she might be getting railroaded.
Okay.
A little bit.
All right. Maybe she's innocent.
But where we're at right now, so Mark, your instincts are absolutely correct. And that she is involved in everything. But this is also the hallmark, the earmark of every single prominent poltergeist case. And that is a pubescent girl who, if her birth date is accurate, would be 12. Who knows what the hell is going on? Who knows how miserable this kid is? But then the more tension felt by the girl who's coming of age, usually the more rampant the poltergeist manifestation is. So I know skeptics always say it's always created. The Enfield poltergeist, classic example, one we eventually have to do because it's just a hallmark of all this stuff. You can make a solid case in some points that maybe these girls were encouraging it, especially the youngest daughter, and maybe even creating part of it. But if just one thing was manifesting outside of her, that becomes something else. And then that, of course, takes you to the other question of, are poltergeists noisy ghosts, as we all know? Are they a separate paranormal phenomenon attracted to the hormonal chaos and psychic angst of a girl coming of age, which has to be like the most incredible psychic tempest perhaps ever manifested, and it happens every time a girl grows up? Or is it something that they are projecting into the world and it manifests itself as a separate entity when it is really just their psychic and, you know, emotional angst being projected out and creating chaos and violence and breaking plates and stealing butter and whatever the fuck else? I don't know. I don't propose to even have an answer to that.
It's not verifiable.
Crux.
That's part of the problem. You can't. It could
Right.
be either one or none or both ish.
Sure.
That's a problem.
It is the problem. But what I'm finding interesting about this, and without getting too far ahead of ourselves, I want to scale it back to just what we've dealt with today, is that there seems to be elements to this. Obviously, the Enfield poltergeist, again, a gruff old man's voice, clearly coming from a little girl's mouth. That's not what's happening here. This is a gruff old man's voice. Now, I will say this. Deena is going to be accused of being a master ventriloquist.
Oh, as they all are.
Right. And there are going to be people that will say experiments were done to prove she couldn't have made these sounds.
Right.
And there are other people that say, oh, no, wait, she definitely could have. Either way, it's not like these terrible voices are emanating from her mouth, using her as a vessel, and people are like, oh, my God, this can't be Deena because how could she make these sounds?
Right.
She's there.
Yeah.
And these sounds are happening.
Right.
So, I mean, unless she was, tuteled under a great ventriloquist in Glasgow fucking for like until she was 6 years old and got sent to Canada, I don't know what the chances are of her being awesome at that, but it is not the same thing as the Enfield situation. So that should be established.
Plus,
right?
I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
Exploding windows and shit being thrown.
Exactly.
There's
water
more
being
than,
thrown in the mom's face.
Yeah, there's more than just the voice.
Could she have cut her own hair? Sure.
Yeah.
Could she have hucked a rock at her sister's chest? I guess that would be super shitty, but okay.
Yeah.
But and I guess she could have spread shit all over. But you'd think you'd smell it on her. Like, where do you go? What well do you go
any
to?
of the kids. That's what I was thinking when they blamed him. I'm like, how did you? I mean, there was not like a trail. You couldn't have tracked this somehow. To,
you got to wash your hands.
Something,
Your
right?
clothes are gonna smell like
it.
whoever
did it would. Yeah, would have fucking
Sure.
reek.
Yeah.
Then there's fire conjuring.
Yeah, the fire is interesting. I mean, I guess you could.
Let's scale this back to what we actually are dealing with here.
Everything
Okay.
that's happening, it seems like it could possibly, obviously, be perpetrated by somebody in the house, but
Yes.
they have to be really fucking good at hiding it for it to happen for that long and have that many.
Well,
things.
not everything. Mostly everything.
Mostly everything.
Yeah.
Chris is right. Mostly.
Okay. True.
It's a 3-room house. 0 closets.
There's no
shitty
room,
walls.
yeah.
Lumber on the outside.
Yeah.
Like logs.
Yeah.
Like foundational fucking pilgrim ass fucking post pilgrim settler bullshit.
Only having 3 rooms. There isn't even a hallway. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that it's not easy to fool late 19th century people. If they,
No, it's true.
True.
You know, if they
Well,
thought
let's be honest.
every black goat was a devil. and,
Yeah.
Look what goes on with conspiracies today online. It's real easy to fool 2022 people.
Well, I mean,
But like I said, some of the things maybe, but like if they literally did see a Bible in a hand and then it really
Disappeared.
Bam.
yeah,
sure,
into
but
the oven. Yeah.
Bamf.
They
Oh
said-
my God, I love that.
My mind says that's what I
That's-
picture.
of course you have to.
Bamfed into the oven.
No, it's totally, yeah.
Because they said it was in his hand, then it was in his hand. So that's a bamf to me.
Oh, totally.
So that's just
Nightcrawler all the way.
yes.
So yeah, that's interesting. And is she really going to go around lighting fires constantly? Is she really going to go around hiding outside, smashing windows, pretending to do nothing? Is she going to scrub all the shit? Is she going to get naked, go into the outhouse, rub shit all over the floor, run naked back to a creek, scrub herself down,
Right, and just
redo her hair,
nobody
put on the
notices
corset
any
or
of this?
whatever?
There's no evidence.
Yeah,
at all.
there's-
Like,
And she's
right?
11 or 12.
There's way too much going on for one person to be able to perpetrate all this and not get found out.
Pounding on the house at night, but never gets caught by
Yeah.
presumably 2 faster adults.
Yeah, again, you would see her coming or going.
Right.
The only thing I could really pin on her is the voice throwing it, but that wouldn't make any sense that she's throwing the voice and
But
the
here's the
devil's
thing,
doing
like
all
I
the
say,
fucking
like the
physical
Enfield,
shit.
the Enfield child, it was coming out of her mouth, and she was the vessel through which it was communicating.
Right.
This is not happening.
No.
To do it in a way where your mouth's not moving and your throat isn't warbling.
Yeah, I picture it being a disembodied voice.
Yes.
Like not from
Right.
direct source.
And that'll become even more clear next when this
All right.
motherfucker
All right.
starts. I mean, this motherfucker is going to chew the fat with up to fucking like 15 people at a time.
Okay.
Like theologians and strangers and like say this early old school awesome Ghostbuster named Percy Woodcock who shows up and owns the scene.
Oh shit! All right,
Percy.
So all that's going to happen then.
Okay,
but right now, we just have to think about like all of these things unfolding in a way that is. I mean, I think is disturbing.
I honestly, there's not any way that one person I think could perpetrate all that without getting caught, unless it was a deal between the kids. They were all like, "Fuck these people."
One of the kids, John, is 2.
Oh, that's right.
The other one's 5.
Yeah.
You know, Liam is 4, and I got to tell you, man, I don't try to have him keep secrets from his parents ever. Like, I'll slip him some chocolate. I'm like, hey, dude, if you want more, you might want to keep it on the down low. But he'll always be like, Mom, I just see some chocolate. Uncle Rob gives me chocolate. I'm going to have another one. Is that okay? And she's like, yeah, that's what I do. And I'm Uncle Rob.
Yeah. Or unless she was mad because Dean got busted and she liked him.
See, there's something.
Oh, yeah.
There's something you can't rule out.
What if her and Dean
then
had
she
a
did?
thing?
Yeah, she did. Maybe she got mad and started doing some stuff. And then when he got out, maybe he's
helping out.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, they co-conspired.
The interesting thing about this, I mean, we got to also remember. I mean, crushes happen when crushes happen. So she's 11 or 12. Dean is maybe 11 or 12 for all we fucking know.
Yeah, I fucking hope so.
That's Marion age in the 18 fucking 80s.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Still, yeah.
Not great. No, listen, I know. Listen, no one's approving
not
of it.
optimal,
I'm just saying.
No.
Yeah.
Woo! Bad scene.
Of course. But if it was a guy she really liked and maybe they were trying to like save up money, who knows? I mean, if she really got adopted just to be slave labor, who knows how mean George and Susan might have been to her, how cruel they could have been.
That's
who
the
knows
deal.
if there was like in the Bell Witch scenario, possibly some sexual abuse. And if she's just trying to get the fuck away and he's, trying to help her do it, if it started with just some stolen money and then he gets put away and she's acting out. But also, here's the other thing. She might be acting out. It might be this calculated plot between two, relatively young kids to do their Romeo and Juliet steal away thing. I don't know what the end game is of smashing all the windows and this and that. And who knows what the end game will be. I'm not going to give it away yet. But maybe Chris is right in the sense that, and I was thinking about this, she has an affection for this kid, even if she doesn't have it placed, even if there is no physical intimacy yet.
Sure.
But they sleep in the same room, they talk, they look at each other. I mean, what do you have to look forward to, unfortunately, if you're a woman in this day and age, but to marriage someday, making your own home, whatever. And he gets ripped away, unfairly, probably in her perspective.
Yeah.
This would only, if poltergeist phenomenon is a psychic manifestation, this would only enhance her rage, her confusion, her turmoil, her anguish at being, having her, the love of her life or the guy she had a crush on stolen away. All of these are legitimate facets that could be at play here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I So I guess either way you go with it, it could be, her psychic manifestation or her and this dude are kind of fucking around and trying to cause some trouble there.
That would be, see, that to me is almost too complex. Like if she's like, all right, and get your buddies to come and chuck rocks at my parents' house while you're in jail. And,
yeah, it's a lot.
Tell Billy and Dale to fucking, Dean sent you, fucking do your shit. Like, is it possible? Yes. And I understand. I get Occam's razor. I get fucking just go the shortest fucking distance. But sometimes the shortest distance, that is not. This seems more convoluted. To have a detailed conspiracy begun by 2 preteens, possibly. I don't know how Dean might be 14, might be 17. I don't fucking know.
Who knows?
By 2 kids and have it involve something that a whole community is going to get involved. Like right now we got Arthur Smart and fucking the Dagg family and his parents and a few other people. Everyone's fucking all up in this shit. I mean, I mentioned that neighbors were coming to visit to see the spectacle for themselves. And that's another thing. They're getting shouted at by the demon too.
Right.
Which is
so it's
Jeff-like.
not just a family. There's the dude there who was getting yelled at when he was like, give him hell. So, yeah.
And this thing is claiming, like say to be, I'm a dead guy. I'm a fucking, I'm a little demonoid conjured by somebody.
That also fits for being youthy and not being savvy enough to be scary, just being
sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like totally. That is something that.
But
would be
that
like,
also
hey,
fits.
I'm an apple. No, I'm not. Chair.
I'm an apple.
Like
I'm an apple.
That's a valid point, but
fair.
But But really, in theological lore, that is also a common ploy of demons. We don't know what we're going to get into next week, and I know we can't wrap it up now because we got more. It goes deeper, and the conversations go deeper, and the entity, whether it is just a part of Deena or something completely separate, takes on a whole new fucking demeanor.
Oh shit!
Which is fascinating.
All right.
So it's really hard. I mean, we always like to do a little bit of a breakdown at the end. It's impossible to do right now. What I will say is that so far it seems like a really intense poltergeist event, whatever that means technically.
For sure.
And maybe there is young love involved. I wouldn't be surprised because you're a young orphan. You're not even like going to be an heir apparent probably to this family, especially if you were adopted for slave labor. Your one dream in life is to marry that cute boy that'll work hard and make you your own, home and help you create your own family. I mean, and it's not even me. It's not belittling like women should only dream for that. I mean, in the 1880s, and you're an orphan and you're not even from here, and you're 11 years old. Jesus Christ, that's so much. And all you want to do is find one thing to look forward to. There's a real chance that this might be her only dream. And I know we've just built all this out of fucking nothing. But still,
no, but it's an option.
I really do think that it is something there. But all of that can be tabled for now because there's definitely more that we're going to need to consider, and it's going to get pretty fucking hectic.
All right,
too hectic, and I'm looking forward to next week.
All right, well, there you have it. Thank you all so very much for joining us. The Dagg Demon Part 1. Come back next week, guys, for Dagg Demon Part 2.
That's a shocker.
Oh, it is.
We might do like a Leonard Part 6, except fuck Bill Cosby.
Wow, there you go. Yes, indeed. It's social medias. We're there. We're doing it. We're hanging out. DMs are open. The Instas and the Twitters and the Facebooks. Thank y'all to everyone hitting us up there. We appreciate it. Oh, Howler Space, get yourself some merch. It's available. It's the summer. There's totes. Perfect.
Wow, that's the first thing you went to?
Summer totes,
summer
whatever.
totes.
It's fine. It works for me.
Do we have Speedos?
We don't have Speedos.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I'm actually
There's
really
tank
happy
tops,
about that.
I think, possibly. I could be
Word
lying.
up.
Could be lying, could
Tank
be wrong.
tops.
Do we have jams?
No.
God damn it.
I know.
It's summer.
I know.
We'll bring them back.
Dude, we're bringing back fucking jams, dog. Bringing back jams. The Patreon. Thank you to everyone that supports us over there at patreon.com/Cryptonaut
Oh my God,
podcast.
thank you. Thank you all. Thank you for this basically making this possible.
Yeah, so be sure to jump over there. Tons of bonus content. Holy shit, lots of things happening over there. And yeah, that's all the things that we're doing, the places you can hit us up. Thank you all for your continued support and all your listenership. Because, without you guys listening every week, we're not a show.
No, we're not.
So thank you.
Not a
we
show.
appreciate
What
it.
we are
We're not
is
a
good
show
friends
now.
who, well, at least I'm drinking, but
Hey, me and Chris had some sweet coffees.
But I'll be honest,
so.
it makes it so much better knowing that we have additional friends out there that
Yes.
are enjoying it.
No, we got people
Whether or
that
not
do
they're
the show.
paying, it just you guys make it all
Yeah,
fucking
for sure.
worth it.
Yeah, totally.
Thank you.
Totally. And you know what? Hey, man, reviews are a thing. If you like what you're listening to,
please.
by all means, go on iTunes, drop us some reviews there. They'd be nice. Also, too, on Spotify, you can leave stars. I think we're almost like 1,000 something on there, so they'd be pretty fucking dope to get some more there.
And if occasionally you want to boost Uncle Rob's ego, throw one on Charitable.
Help Uncle. Well, if you put anything up on Instagram or on Apple Podcasts, it goes automatically to Charitable.
Oh, good. Then just go to Apple Podcast and do it.
And then it goes all the way to
Thank
Charitable
you.
and help Uncle Rob get through his week.
Well, yeah. Because I can live with all the people that hate that we're profane or maybe not as indulgently Christian as they want us to be. But every time someone's like, hey, you guys are pretty cool and I wish I was your friend, I'm like, I am your friend. You don't even know it.
Don't break that wall down, buddy.
Oh,
Don't
my God,
break
dude.
that
I'm
wall
friends.
down.
Listen, in my heart, I'm friends with all you motherfuckers.
Oh, man, Uncle Bob's staying at your house. There you have it.
boy.
Thank y'all so very much. And we're talking to you soon.
No, seriously, where do you live? I'm staying at your house.
Someone's going to show up at your apartment. You're going to be like, whoa, fuck. What
I
did
said
do?
your house.
No, someone's going to hunt you down,
Oh.
dude. I get it. They're the hunter. You're the prey.
Yeah,
I'm okay
Hey.
with that.
Okay, fine. We'll see you.
that's fucked up.
Peace.
Right.
Bye.
Hey, I love you guys.
Love you too.
Turn it off.